I'm doing something a little bit different. I've already listened to the album. I'm recording this part at the end of my reaction, and I'm gonna edit it at the beginning. I made an intro talking about Taylor Swift and the whole beef. How Taylor Swift dropped like all her albums on streaming services in celebration of some shit, and I thought it was really petty of her. Like, you could have literally dropped it any other day. Just any other day. Besides the one person that you have beef with, I guess one of several, to try to take away sales and streams from the person that you're in conflict with, it does seem extremely petty. But I decided to record this instead because I came into this album having a certain idea of what it was going to sound like based on the lead singles, Chained to the Rhythm, Bon Appetit, and Swish Swish. And that absolutely did not represent what the album was all about. And as you're gonna see in a second here, off the first fucking track, my mind was blown. This album, ooh. I won't spoil it too much, but just go watch the video. I think it might be a little bit longer of a reaction because I did a lot of talking because I just had so much to say. But Katy Perry, Witness. I was not expecting this. Okay, yeah, let's go. Go into the reaction now. Track 1, Witness. Katy. How is this not your lead single, girl? Damn it, Katy, you fucked up. You fucked up, Katy. This song is great. How are you making a song with Migos, your single? Just because it has a hip-hop feature on it? Whoever produced this track did such a great job. Damn it. Katy Perry, you fucked up. You fucked up. I'm just saying it. You fucked up. Had this been your lead single or your single after Chained to the Rhythm, because I think Chained to the Rhythm still was a good song. Had this been your second single, there would be so much more hype around your album. Like, there already is a lot of hype, but a lot of people have come out hating because they didn't like the track with Quavo and they didn't like Swish Swish as much as they liked her past stuff. If she had come out with this, she would have silenced everybody. First of all, let me talk about the production. The thing about this chorus is it really could have went heavy-handed and had a lot of punch, and it would have took away from Katy Perry's vocals because it's a little bit lighter on this track. She's not like belting or anything. So I thought the production did a fantastic job sounding really good without overpowering the fact that Katy's kind of not going too far with her vocals. Like right here I was like, don't. It's just enough. It's just enough, man. Whoever produced the track, fantastic. I like the idea behind the song, too. I like how she's saying, like, I need a witness, or I need someone to view life with me. Just her way of saying, basically, that she's looking for someone to spend her life with. And we all are. We're all looking for a connection. We're all looking for other people. God damn it, I just can't get over this single. Yeah, okay. I wish you went really up far there. That was dope. Okay, this album is exceeding my expectations. Maybe it's good I didn't like Bon Appetit as much because that lowered my expectations for this album, and the lyrics on Swish Swish didn't capture me and I didn't think they were very good. So I lowered my expectations and now I'm being blown out of the water, man. I wouldn't say that Triple Hey is as good as Witness, and I think it would have been better served to be maybe around 8, 9, 10 in the album track listing. It just feels like that kind of track, like a deeper album track. I just feel like it's something that plays better later. And I love this silent part here. I love this whole thing after the second chorus. Love that. Wish he didn't do this though. Okay, Katy Perry's nailing this album so far. Little minor things, But whenever I focus on the minor things, it's just because I like stuff so much. It seems to be my thing. Like, whenever I like stuff a lot, I just focus on the minor things because I want it to be perfect, and it's just so close. Let's go on to track 3, which is Roulette. God damn it. Fuck this album, man. The production's nailing it. I like everything Katy's doing. Fuck it. Swish Swish I've heard, obviously, but I want to hear what it sounds like now after hearing these 3 tracks. I don't know if my opinion will change. I said that Triple Hay felt out of order. It felt like it should have been 8, 9, or 10 on the album listing. I feel like Swish Swish is perfectly placed. Number 4, which is like the cleanup batter. It kind of feels like it's the natural fit. I love how she sings Despise there. Okay. Listen to that again. That's a great line. That's like poetry. Oh god, the lyrics of this so far. Oh, the production on this album, guys. What, guy? What the fuck? Like, my eyes are watering because this is so fucking good. This I don't know if this has happened to me before. On camera, at least. Sometimes I hear shit that I know I'm gonna like and it's gonna be so good. Like, the next time I listen to it and I'm gonna be playing it forever. And I just get so excited that my eyes start to water a little bit. That's exactly what's happening right now. This is better than Witness. And that's one of the best tracks of the year. You can bring Iggy Azalea and Quavo on this track together and it still wouldn't ruin it. That's how good this song is. It's the little things. I just have so much to say about this album. This reaction is gonna be fucking 35 minutes long. I'm gonna have to like kind of barrel through some tracks and not give too many thoughts on some of them. But everything on here so far just like requires me to say a ton about. This song is one of the best I've heard this year. Just with the pattern of her voice, the production, again. It was like a perfectly structured track, man. This is one of the best of the year. And we're only 5 tracks in. I thought the same thing with Witness. I thought Witness, nothing was gonna top it on the album. We're only a third of the way through the album. We might see tracks better than Deja Vu. I don't know how, but it might happen. Let's get into Power, man. Chills everywhere. From the start, when I first heard this drum, I was like, no, don't do this, Katy. It's gonna ruin the track. I thought this was gonna be a precursor to what we're gonna get on the rest of the track, but they use these drums just to kind of like break up the monotony of the track, and then they went on with the regular beat, which was a completely different sound. Kind of reminded me of Childish Gambino's, his whole album, to be honest. He went with this experimental thing, and I love what Katy Perry did here, because she just kind of played with that sound. Childish Gambino made a whole album, Awaken My Love, where he explored those sounds. Katy Perry didn't dive in as deep into that genre or that style, nor did she do it for her whole album. However, she played with it here. I was just captured, man. This album has like 3 of maybe the best songs I've heard this year. I think in this track, she's talking about a failed relationship, And she says, I lost myself inside you, and I love my mother, but I can't be like her. The line that really caught me, I thought it was kind of a strange line, maybe that's why I listened in. But she said that I want to sit first at the dinner table, and typically the first seat is saved for the male, or the head of the household, which is the man. In most traditional households, I know that's changing quite a bit. And she says, I'm done siphoning my power. Like, she doesn't want to be used, and she doesn't want to feel like she has to give in to somebody else. She wants someone to partner with. She wants someone as a witness. She wants to live individually but together, rather than having like a codependent where she has to concede some of her power. Just a very interesting track lyrically. Mind Maze is the next track. Interesting. I love how they play with that auto-tune. It's a mind maze. All these Did she just have a whole bridge without any vocals? Prism, what did I think? I thought that there was a lot more depth lyrically than I was expecting, but she managed to put everything into like this pop package, and that's why so many singles made it to the radio and became huge hits and successes, is because she made everything pop. She's kind of doing the opposite here. What she's doing on this album, and she still has some really good writing in this album, not as consistent, I would say, as Prism, but she's breaking down the pop genre, and she's playing with different sounds, like Power kind of reminded me of Childish Gambino. Mind Maze has a whole bridge without any vocals on it. It feels kind of semi-house. It really feels pop house, almost. And I have so much respect for her for doing this, because it's breaking out of the comfort zone. It would have been very easy for her to make another Prism, and that would have probably sold through the roof. This here is different. It's progression, man. If you don't like this as much as Prism and Teenage Dream, you still have to respect the fact that she's willing to take chances, and the fact that she's progressing as an artist. Because even if you don't like this as much, this is progression. Miss You More. God damn it. We're not even halfway through this album. I'm just praising this thing so much. The lines are sinking in. Do you ever wonder what we could have been? Oh. But your mind played more than I loved you. Wow. I've missed you more than I love you. I miss you. Oh my god. I do. I miss you. All my secrets. Please keep them safe. I do wonder, instead of repeating this 3 times after saying the first time, I wonder if she would have added maybe some different lyrics on the chorus. Like, that would have made the song better. That line was super fascinating to me. I missed you more than I loved you. So it's almost like you miss their comfort, and you miss having a person beside you more than you love that person. So you're craving something that you had, but you recognize that it wasn't as great, because it wasn't like a triumphant sort of love where it just burns through eternity. It wasn't that kind of love. It was just a love that you wish you had back, but you recognize that you miss it more than it was worth, I guess, now that it's gone. We're gonna go really quick through Chain Through the Rhythm, because I've heard it before, and because I already know I'm talking so much on this reaction. Are those birds? This track just flows. I just feel like I'm on a wave, man. I'm not getting off. Man, yeah, this song, for some reason, I'm just like flowing with it. I recognize that that's not fantastic lyrically, but I just fell into that track and I just wrote it. Literally, it felt like a wave just kind of like going back and forth. Maybe that's like the C sounds at the beginning. It sounds like water lapping up to the shore, and I'm pretty sure I hear birds. But then the song started, and I think it might have been the production, but it was also the way she sang. It was the pattern. It just had me, I just couldn't get off the wave, and that's a song that I could listen to for hours. Like, close my eyes and just fall into it for that long. Hypnotic, I guess, is the proper way to say it. Bon appetit. Again, I've said most of my feelings about this. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Okay, that's enough. I'm just another robot taking up oxygen. Do robots take in oxygen? I know what you're saying, but that lyric doesn't make sense. I'm conflicted about Bigger Than Me. Sonically, it's like a perfectly fine song. Not one of the best on the album, but it certainly fits. And I think it's good. And if I'm not paying attention to the lyrics and it came on, I would be glad it's on. I like the idea behind it. The thought process of Katy Perry thinking, I'm not gonna be a robot. I'm not gonna just suck in oxygen, which are two different things. Maybe you should have clarified that. But she feels like she has a purpose, and she's not gonna ignore it. She tried to ignore it, and it just keeps coming up, and she can't anymore. I like the idea behind that, but why not make a song about what you want to accomplish, not the fact that you have a mission? It's like watching a movie. If the whole movie was about how a guy got the mission, you'd be like, okay, well, I want to see him do the mission. I don't know, man. I'm conflicted about that one. I think maybe if I listen to it a couple more times, my opinion might change a little bit on it. Just typing something out.
Now my calendar's so full, it's easier to move on.
Oh yeah, I'm getting chills, man.
And I take a deep breath. And I've heard you tell some changing, rearranging.
That song is pretty self-explanatory what it's about. Katy Perry's writing these letters, or she's saving all these letters because she doesn't want to send it, so she saves it and closes it. But it's letters, I think, to Russell Brand. Is that right? Maybe? She was in deep. I mean, they got married, so obviously it was pretty intense. But she drives past his car and she can't even hear his name without, like, sucking in her breath and like, kind of having a little panic attack. And she thinks about contacting him and maybe he's changed and I've changed, and maybe at this point in our lives we can reconnect and we can rekindle that love. But she thinks it's better to let sleeping dogs lie. It's better to just let it be and move on. And there was one line. There was a fork in the fucking road, and at first I was like, did you have to say fucking there? It didn't sound good in the line. But then I was like, hold on, Dylan. It kind of was cool because it showed that she was passionate about saying it. And it didn't sound good, but it just showed so much more emotion. So she chose emotion over sounding better. 2 tracks left. Pendulum is the next one. Like this. I like the choir. That's an okay track for me. It didn't help that the fact that a pendulum just moves back and forward, and she said it comes back around, and around would imply circular, and then the pendulum doesn't really move in a circular motion. It's not like a full rotation that it does, it's just back and forth, which I guess is like a semicircle. Just me being a stickler about the lyrics. But yeah, I don't know, just sonically, okay. It almost lost me, then it picked me back up when it started doing like the stuff with the choir, but yeah, just overall, average track for me. Let's go on to the last one. Into Me You See. Ended on a high note, Katy. Ended on a high note. I like this slow intro.
I built a wall so high know they can't hurt me if they don't know me. Into me you see, you see. Into me.
This feels like a Disney song. I love it.
You got me when
Wow, okay, we gotta talk about this last song first, real quick, and then we're gonna get into the album thoughts. This song, the ballad, it's so nice because she was kind of, she like put a shell around herself, and then this person came into her life and broke her open, and it showed her a side of her that she didn't even know was there. And she loved it, and now that she's not with that person anymore, she hopes that she can remain open to other people because she likes the way she is, but she's afraid, I guess, to revert back to that old version of herself now that the other person isn't around. I love that. However, there are times on this album, even in the good songs, where there was like one lyric and I was like, why would you say that? That doesn't sound good. Here is one on the last track. What? And why? It's like such like a serious track, and I love the depth of emotion. And then that's like a thing that kids say when they're just like having fun playing around. I can't take that line seriously, and you put it in like a super serious track. It's just it's conflicting with me. And it's not just there. There were like other lines on certain tracks where I'm like, oh, why would you say that? But beyond that, Into Me You See, fantastic track. Ends with the ballad. You know I love albums that end with ballads. I love ballads in general, especially when you close an album with one. For this album, I want to say that Katy Perry, you really fucked yourself over here. Bon Appetit doesn't belong on this album. It doesn't need to be here. Change of the Rhythm was fine. I know it kind of was conflicting with Katy Perry fans. Some didn't like it, some did. I think that really anything she would have released was going to be controversial because Lorde was the same way. She was gone for 4 years. She released Green Light. And that track was fucking fantastic, in my opinion. I think it was quintessential Lorde, but better than what she was before. But fans didn't like it because, I don't know, their expectations built up too high after 4 years of absence. Katy Perry leaves for 4 years, comes back. I think any song that she was going to release was going to get flack because they were expecting like her to be better than ever, and after years of not getting it, their anticipation just continued to build. So I think part of the reason some fans didn't like it is due to the fact that it didn't meet their expectations, which were just too high to anything to measure up. I think Witness should have been your lead track. This is the perfect song. I don't know that anyone can dislike this song. No, that's not true. I know that some people will dislike it, especially if they're Taylor Swift fans. I just think that's a genuinely really good song, objectively. And I understand if some people don't like it. However, this needed to be your lead single. Or your second single at the very least. I think you picked Chained to the Rhythm because it was more pop and you thought it could get more radio play. Bon Appetit as well. It had the Migos feature. I get it. Migos is hot right now. Fucking Quavo is on everything. So you're like, well, I'll just put it out. I'll kind of ride their wave. You didn't need to do that, Katy Perry. You have your own wave, which is bigger than Migos. Deja Vu might be a track that I really like, and other people might not as much. It just hits all the right things for me. There was that one opening line, like I hang off the echoes of your I love yous. Like that's like a good line. So she has good lines in here. I think it's less consistent than Prism is. Not only with individual lines, but like whole tracks, overall lyricism, I suppose. I do respect how she not only is integrating sounds of 2017 into her music, she could have played it safe with a lot of her production. And I think that was my problem. I listened to Dua Lipa's album. That was her first album, a little bit different circumstances. But I felt like Dua Lipa played it safe a lot of the time on her album. Here, Katy Perry took chances. Mind Maze? Even on Power, this, like I said, it reminded me of Awaken My Love. I love it, man. I don't know how Katy Perry fans are going to feel about it, but I personally really like it. I see it as progression. And like I said, anytime an artist takes a chance, whether or not I like it, I'm going to respect them more, and I certainly do with Katy Perry. Tsunami, to me, I don't know, man. Something about that song, I feel like it's gonna be the longest tenured song in my iTunes library, like 10 years from now. Like over time, I start deleting tracks out of my iTunes once I'm like completely done with the track. I feel like Tsunami is gonna be one of those tracks that's just in there forever. Into Me You See was a great way to close it, like I said. Bigger Than Me, I felt like it could have had a little bit more focus. I don't need to hear about you singing about how you feel you have a purpose. Instead, show me what you're doing with that feeling. Overall, though, I want to say, Katy Perry, you could have picked better lead singles. You had better songs on this album and songs that would have gotten your fans more hyped up. I certainly would have been more hyped if you had released Witness or Deja Vu as your lead single. I feel like Bon Appetit ironically put a sour taste in some people's mouths. But I feel like that was a poor choice to have that as your single, or to even have the song in general, man. I feel like that could have got scrapped. There's just so much better on this album. I think Bon Appetit is probably the worst song here, in my opinion. And I love hip-hop. That's the fucking craziest thing. I love hip-hop. It's my favorite genre. And I think the song where you had a hip-hop feature could have been gone. I'd like to hear your opinion on the album from Katy Perry fans. I want to hear how you perceive this album, because it's much different production-wise than Prism was. And it's been 4 years. Does this live up to your expectations? I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say about it. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.